Hello and welcome to the channel. In this episode we're on the Isle of Skye and we conquer the epic Quiraing hike, sleep like Highland royalty at Greshornish House, and then hit the road to storm the ruins of Urquhart Castle and cruise the monster-haunted depths of Loch Ness. A couple of wild days, 4 legendary stops, and maybe, just maybe, Nessie makes an appearance.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. 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 We are all looking for adventure.
Welcome to the Isle of Skye, where the land folds in on itself like an ancient secret. And today, we're stepping into that secret. This is the Quiraing, a land shaped by landslides, legends, and the kind of views that make you question if you've accidentally walked into a fantasy film set. So this place is absolutely unreal. It's like Mother Nature dropped her paintbrush and said, masterpiece done.
You mean after throwing in some jagged cliffs, some sharp pinnacles, and a good dose of Scottish mist?
Exactly. And you know what? Flat landscapes are for those people who don't like a daring adventure.
The Quiraing is part of the Greshornish Ridge, a series of massive landslips still slowly moving today. Yep, this landscape is literally alive. It's a 6.8 kilometre round trip hike, which isn't too bad as long as you don't forget snacks, waterproofs and common sense.
Some of the Quiraing's most iconic features have names like the needle, the table, and the prison. Sounds like a medieval dating app, but it's actually geology doing its most dramatic work. The needle's that tall pointy one, bit moody, great for silhouette shots. The table, a flat chunk of land that slipped down the ridge and just stayed. Perfect picnic real estate, if you don't mind an audience of sheep.
The views up here, breathtaking, literally and figuratively. 1 minute you're staring out over rolling green into the sea, the next you're clinging to a narrow path wondering if this was a hike or an audition for a mountain goat.
It's one of those walks that rewards you every time you look up. Jagged peaks, hidden plateaus, cloud shadows chasing each other across the land like they're late for something. But fair warning, this trail doesn't hand out panoramas for free.
There's mud, there's scrambling, there's wind doing its best to launch you into the next time zone, and just when you think you've finished climbing, the trail giggles and gives you another hill.
Still, every burning calf, every soggy sock, every time you nearly faceplant into a gorse bush, it's worth it.
We've seen rain, mist and sunshine, and perhaps even a portal into another dimension, just in the first part of the walk.
It's classic Skye weather apparently, which is supposedly like dating an emotionally unstable person. They just keep you guessing. Not mentioning any names.
Oh, very funny.
If you're enjoying our videos, make sure you hit that like button to let us know how we're going. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what we're up to next, and make sure you swipe that notification button while you're there. So this area behind us we think is called the Table, and it's a big landslide that's come down the hill and it's fairly flat on top, and they say it's the perfect spot for a picnic. I'd say they'd be right. This is magnificent up here. So we met a Dutch couple and they were coming the opposite way to us, and they told us that the walk has got a lot clearer. The view has really cleared up since they started the walk, which just goes to show you that changing conditions you get here in Skye. All that said, it is absolutely amazing. Okay, so we've been walking for just over an hour, and we keep waiting for this path around every corner to start heading up the top of the cliffs, which is the walk back, and we're still at the bottom of the cliffs. So as far as Scottish cardio workouts go, this one tops the other hikes we've done so far, that is for sure. It's superb, but if you're here on the Isle of Skye, do not miss this hike. It is spectacular. So C's down there. Path that we're on heads up through that gap there. We will eventually end up at the top of those cliffs to kind of walk back. And I've had this lady following me the whole way. So walking through here actually really does feel like you're on the set of Lord of the Rings, and you're walking along with a whole lot of dwarves. Oh, actually, here comes Frodo now. And hey, the best part out here? There's no signal. Just you, the wind, and the occasional sheep judging your hiking outfit. Although some of those sheeps may have taken a tumble from the cliffs. Poor little fellas. After at least 2 hours or so, we started to see the incline up towards the top of the cliffs. Our legs were burning, but we were determined to complete this hike. What other option did we have? We're definitely not staying out here. Almost at the top. When you hit the high point, it's quiet, vast, ancient. You feel tiny, in the best way possible. Like the land is reminding you, hey, you're part of something way, way bigger. You do need to be careful at the top of the hill. This grassy field at the very top is quite disorientating, especially if a mist rolls in. It's incredibly easy to head off in the wrong direction. So if you're coming to Skye and you don't visit the Quiraing, are you even really on Skye?
Bring your boots, bring your curiosity, and maybe leave the drone at home if it's too windy. Trust us on that one.
This has definitely been our favourite hike so far. Until next time, keep chasing the wild, and remember, life's too short for flat walks and boring views. Somewhere between the clouds and the sea, where the roads run out and the stories begin, you'll find Greshornish House. Hello, if you have ever dreamt of living in a fairy tale, you know, the ones without dragon attacks and peasant uprisings, then this is the place you need to check in.
If you haven't dreamt of it, then you're about to.
A wink, a grin, you light up the night. Together we're unstoppable, feeling so right.
Originally built in the 18th century, Greshornish House started life as a private estate, because apparently some people's retirement plans involve castles.
5-star service in a house that's older than America. That sounds about right.
To be perfectly honest, it doesn't feel like you're checking into a hotel. It feels more like you've been invited into someone's secret, very posh hideaway. So we've been pronouncing it Greshornish. Can you tell us how you really pronounce it?
It's pronounced Greshornish House.
Greshornish, okay. We'll lock that one in the vault.
It took me a while.
Every room here tells its own story. Deep armchairs, tartan throws, views of the loch that look suspiciously like they've been hand-painted by wizards.
This bed must be for royalty or extremely committed napping.
The kitchen here, absolute witchcraft. Locally sourced ingredients, flavours that sing louder than a Celtic band. And they even had haggis. And surprise, surprise, Sharon ate it for breakfast and dinner and quite enjoyed it. Although not native to Scotland, the golden Chinese pheasants were gorgeous.
Greshornish isn't just a place to stay, it's a reminder that the world, no matter how fast and loud it gets, still keeps secret places where magic lingers.
You just have to be willing to chase it to the edge of the map.
Hearts open wide in this crazy life, you and I.
Somewhere in the wild heart of the Scottish Highlands, where legends ripple through ancient waters, stands a fortress battered by centuries, but still refusing to bow.
And maybe, just maybe, it's still keeping an eye out for a scaly, certain someone. Welcome to Urquhart Castle, a place where history, mystery and questionable fashion choices from the 13th century collide.
So, built in the 1200s, blown up in the 1600s, and still looking better than my high school yearbook photo.
Urquhart was a prize, fought over by kings, clans and anyone looking to impress a date with an epic view. It changed hands more times than a hot potato at a family picnic.
Rumour has it, if you listen carefully, you can still hear the murmur of Scottish bagpipes, or that could be the gurgling of Nick's stomach. This towering beauty, that's the Grant Tower, built for defence and drama. Lots and lots of drama.
So, can you imagine being here and seeing a Viking ship sailing up through the loch? You'd probably have about 10 seconds to look heroic before running up the hills and taking some cover.
Speaking of things lurking on Loch Ness, no trip here is complete without a hopeful glance for Nessie herself.
I haven't spotted her yet, but I did spot a duck with attitude.
Urquhart was once one of the largest strongholds in all of medieval Scotland, but with great power came great paranoia. Whoever held Urquhart had to watch their back and their flanks constantly.
In 1692, the last government troops blew up Urquhart's gatehouse as they left, not out of spite, but strategy. Better to leave a ruined shell than risk it falling into Jacobite hands. Talk about an explosive breakup.
Urquhart is more than stones and stories. It's a reminder that even when history crumbles, its spirit can still soar.
And we're better to dream big, or maybe hunt a monster or two.
So we've enjoyed Urquhart Castle. We would have loved to stay for longer, but we've mistimed things and we have to get up to our cruise on Loch Ness. So we're looking forward to that. We'll see you there.
The sun's rising high, and the world's calling loud. Time to leave the world.
Welcome to the Highlands, where the mist whispers secrets, the hills hum old songs, and somewhere out there, a very shy sea monster might just be watching us.
Today we're trading road trips for river monsters.
Today we're going to actually board a Jacobite cruise on the legendary Loch Ness. And we're hoping that Nessie's all ready for her close-up.
Loch Ness stretches over 37 kilometres. That's like the length of 350 football fields stitched end to end. And at its deepest, it's twice the height of the Sydney Opera House. Safe to say, Nessie's got plenty of room to hide.
Okay, so we got our choice of seat, and we're up on the bow. But of course you've got to consider these Highland winds, and whether you want them to or not, they will give you a new hairstyle. So you have the choice. You can either channel your inner Scottish warrior and just roll with it and maybe scare the tourists, or you can throw on a beanie and a hat and hope for the best.
Our journey starts at Garrick Loch, where the river unspools like a silver ribbon through the Highlands. Here, the Ness River isn't just water, it's a lifeline, connecting mountains to myths, forests to folklore.
You can practically feel the pull of the loch from here, like nature herself is reeling us in.
The Ness River flows from the northern tip of Loch Ness all the way to Inverness and out to the sea. It's short, just 10 kilometres, but it punches way above its weight when it comes to beauty. And now we're about to enter the loch.
So right now we're about to sail into Loch Dockford before we hit Loch Ness. It's a little bit chilly, but it's livable for a couple of Aussies. We're tough. They bred us tough down under. Well, one of us anyway.
That's right, for me.
From the calm cradle of the Ness River, we glide into the vast, brooding heart of Loch Ness itself, where legends roam deep below the surface. The Highlands don't shout, they hum. Every glen and gorge feels stitched with old myths, battles and ballads. It's like nature's greatest hits album, only remastered by centuries of rain and legend. Now over in that little village there is a Guinness World Record holder, a fellow who every day for 26 years has tried to spot Nessie. He thinks he saw her maybe once.
Up ahead, the mighty Urquhart Castle, and it does look quite different from this perspective on the water. It's seen Vikings, kings, rebellions, and tourists armed with selfie sticks. If these crumbling stones could talk, they'd have stories darker than a Highland winter.
Fun fact, there have been over 1,000 reported Nessie sightings, and exactly 0 confirmed monster selfies. Mysterious? Yes. Bad at social media? Most definitely.
Even if Nessie's taking the day off, this cruise is pure magic. Wide skies, ancient hills, and a loch so deep it feels like you're floating through a dream someone forgot to wake up from.
Okay, so we have just travelled down Loch Ness to Urquhart Castle and turned around and come back. And for the trip down, we were out on the bow, and it was very picturesque, but quite cold.
Freezing. I had to wear a beanie.
And so we've decided to come back in on the trip back up. And to warm us up, we've gone with a Highland hot chocolate. A little bit different to a normal hot chocolate because it has a nip of whiskey. A dram of whiskey. So let's have a try. Cheers.
What do you think of that? Definitely hits the spot. So Loch Ness, you wild and wonderful mystery, thanks for having us.
And Nessie, next time we're bringing snacks. See you soon, legend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one, where we're going to check into a haunted Scottish castle, where things actually do go bump in the night.
Then meet some very alive and very adorable locals, the Cairngorm reindeer herd.
But it's not all sugar and antlers. We'll stand on the solemn fields of Culloden, where history weighs heavy in the silence.
And we'll finish at the mighty Stirling Castle, where kings rose, battles raged, and legends were born.
So hit that subscribe button, pack your curiosity, and join us as we uncover more of Scotland's epic soul, hauntings, heartstrings, and Highland history, coming up on 8 Arm Adventures.